Hey, what's good, everybody in the BlockPacks Discord? This is Billy the Pug. Getting ready to go live to cut this video, and he insisted to get up in my lap. We'll see how long he stays. So, wanted to get in here and get you guys up to date on some dates and some timelines. Things are really just kind of starting to come together for our plans here to bring the liquidity of crypto together with the the $500 billion that's locked up in physical collectibles, and really creating that collision that's really starting to come together with the things that we've been doing. The amount of liquidity, the amount of ETH that's in wallets that can participate in our ecosystem has increased by more than exponentially. It is an absolute jaw-dropping amount of liquidity that is now available in our ecosystem that can participate in the things that we're doing. And I think there's an absolute powder keg here that's about ready to blow the lid off. But I want to give you guys some important dates. So we're going to be making the transition on Frax on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday is when we're going to do it. We are doing some things that I'll circle back to and explain to you on what we're going to do to avoid some gas and set us up for a better liquidity standard going forward. Drop 2 pre-sale is going to be on the 17th. You remember we did the emergency credit card sale when the processor said they didn't want to take NFT purchases anymore, to try to help you guys get in, give you a longer runway to get ETH ready. But now this will be the ETH pre-sale. So this will be when, if you're Genesis status, this is when you'll need to actually get your packs before we turn them loose to everybody. That's going to be on the 17th. And then we're targeting that October 3rd rip. I said in a previous video that we would be shooting for 2 weeks in that Instagram live that I made. We said we'd be pushing back 2 weeks, and so that would land us on October 3rd for the rip. And I also have some really big developments as far as the tech around the RAS model goes, and I'll try to hit on that a little bit here at the end too. I want to stick with the dates first. I'm trying to get this at 10 minutes. We'll see if I can keep it under 15. The date of Kobe Frax, that will be on the 15th of October. So rip on the 3rd, wrap that up, and then a couple days later, everybody get their Frax. So the Frax for the Kobe will get where they're post rip. That way we'll know all the pack totals. Everybody will get them at one time. That'll be better for the overall market. Here comes Billy. Click, click, click. And then the free drop is scheduled for 10/19. If you remember, that was planned to be between drop 1 and 2, and I fumbled the bag on that because I thought we only had to register with New York State if some of the entries were paid. That's not the case. You have to register if the prizes are above a certain threshold, and we're over that threshold for the free drop, putting value in that. So that means that we had to register, had to wait at least 30 days. And so that's going to push that back to 10/19 for the free packs drop that everybody's been promised. So circling back to Frax and what's going to be happening on Wednesday. So what's going to happen, we will announce in a set time, the Matic contract will freeze, trading will halt, and you will get airdropped a new token in place of your Matic token, and that new token will be a main chain token. That will expose us to main chain liquidity. And there's a lot more liquidity on the main chain. That being said, there's also high gas fees on the main chain. But we're just seeing where we are, understanding how this is going. We have made a decision that we are going to move. And for most people, I don't think you're going to care about this. But if you want to dig into it, we are moving from an ERC 721 token standard to an ERC 1155 token standard. ERC 1155. It's an NFT token that has a lower gas payload as it interacts with the blockchain. It'll also allow us to have a really efficient bid-ask platform. So basically, you'll come in, you'll see everybody that wants to buy. If you're at a gold Frax, you'll see everybody that wants to buy at a gold Frax and what they're offering. And you'll see, and then you can list and say what you're willing to sell for it. So it really works almost like a bid-ask platform in the financial system. And generally, there's a little bit of a spread between the bids and the bid and ask. So if you look up Bored Ape Chemistry Club, you'll see some 1155 tokens in those serums. Click on the M1, it'll open, it'll show you that there's 3,000 of them available. That's the ones that haven't been used yet to turn the mutant apes. There was originally, I guess, closer to 10,000 of them. And then if you look down, you'll see what they're listed for sale at and what the bids are to buy one. So if you had one of those serums and you just wanted to sell it, you go into there, you don't even have to wait for somebody to offer you. You just go down and say, all right, what's somebody willing to pay? I'll take the offer. So the liquidity, the efficiency, it's way more organized for things like this that have this semi-fungible feel to it, where the rubies will be in one class, gold will be in a class, diamond will be in a class, bronze will be in a class. Excuse me, I'm still working on it too. We want to get our branding right. The Sunlight Edition. And it really makes that super efficient. There is one, I consider it to be a minor negative drawback, and I hope the community will agree. When you look at it, you'll notice that the tokens are not individually numbered. And the way it decrements in the database, if we try to number them in your BlockPacks account, when you go on chain to make a transaction, it would not, the transaction is just going to grab, if you sell one of them, let's say you have 5 golds, it's just going to grab one of your golds and sell it. And it's not going to pay any attention to which one it's getting. And so that's that makes for a more efficient gas transfer, part of what lowers the fee structure way down. And we're talking way, way, way lower gas, way lower. Like I was looking earlier, and to do one of these, it was going to cost me $18. And at the same time, I went and looked to see what it was going to cost me on a ERC 721. And at the same time, within like literally 30 seconds checking that, it was like $175. So I'm not saying, I don't know exactly the correlation, but in that instance, it was like 10 times lower. So we're talking a humongous amount of money that will stay in the ecosystem and not go to gas. And we're talking about a much, much more efficient bid-ask system in that process. So I'm super, super bullish on that. That would disproportionately affect anyone who had a jersey number token. There were 2 of those in circulation. And I went out today, talked to those people, and I bought those tokens from them. I have a handshake deal on it. Got to get the offers through, but we trued up on that. So everybody else, the tokens will go in. And if you have 5 bronze tokens, it will decrement up. If you want to sell them, you can set, I want to take 0.15, 0.15. Somebody comes along, wants to buy, they say buy, buy, buy. Way, way more efficient. So as far as the amount of liquidity it will give you access to, it's going to be meaningful. And I think that is going to pay off in the long run by putting that gas in your pocket instead of burning it, which happens on chain now since the London fork, or sending it to a miner. So keeping that money in the ecosystem, I think, is going to be huge. And I think that it's going to really give these things a good opportunity to become super highly desirable. Again, the liquidity that we have coming into the ecosystem, understand that that what was our legacy Frax, the Collision, that is the Collision project. That's the first one that once we get the transition over, that's the first one that I'm going to encourage our NFT native friends to play in. And because it's the one that bridges us together, bringing them all the way over to Vault tokens, all the way over to the PAX experience, probably too far of a leap. That's probably a bridge too far for them right now. Same thing for a lot of you guys. You're not really ready to jump all the way over to the pure NFT side, but in the middle, the Collision piece, you're like, yeah, I've got an underlying piece of a real Jordan, and I've got some NFT art. It has the elements that both sides want. And that's where we're going to really try to bring the Collision. So we're going to really try to bring the liquidity together, and doing it this way, keeping that money in the ecosystem, I think is going to be absolutely huge. So if you go look at Bored Ape Chemistry Club, you'll kind of see how that functions. So imagine, instead of seeing that M1 serum, imagine that's a Moonlight or a Sunlight. And instead of seeing the M2 serum, imagine that that's a Moonlight. And then imagine that the Mega serum, imagine that's a Gold. And that's how it would work. So I think you'll get a really good indication of how that will function if you go take a look at that project from Bored Ape Yacht Club. Again, Bored Ape Chemistry Club. You'll see the 1155 tokens at work. Now, we are working on a mechanism Got a couple patents in the works. You know, we love to try to file patents when we come up with something innovative here to help protect our ecosystem. We are working on a way to utilize that same token standard in the PAX model. And if we are able to pull that off, we will be able to have the OpenSea store next time for the next PAX drop 2, Series 2. You will be able to go in and you will just see one entry for each of the 60 cards, just like you do in your BlockPax account. And if you want to go after the Tiger Woods, you can come over and say, I want the Tiger Woods SP. What are we willing to take? I want to take 5 of these tokens. Bang, 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 bang. And you got them. And if you want to sell your Giannis orange dime prisms, list them. Bang, 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 bang. If you want to do stuff the old way, you could still transfer the tokens the way some of you guys were doing the trading. But I think this mechanism inside OpenSea is probably going to be something that you're going to enjoy a whole lot more, because it's a lot easier when it comes to click, click, click and make it happen. So I think that's going to be super popular. I'm not promising that in the PAX model yet. We still have some technological hurdles to jump over on that to figure out a way. There's some different limitations on the 1155. We have to be able to have the same verifiable randomness. But we think that we're really close to having some breakthroughs where we can utilize it that way. And if we can, it's going to clean some things up tremendously. It's going to make everything a lot more efficient when it comes to the PAX and make it more enjoyable for you guys. And that's what we're hacking on that. So I'm at 11:27. I'm going to sign it off here. I think I covered pretty much what I want to. You guys feel free to drop questions in. I'll check back in, and if I need to, I'll pop up another video, or I'll try to hit them some in the Discord a little bit later after we get this online. And talk to y'all soon. Big things on the horizon.